So we will compare the iPhone 6 Plus with the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Both of them are pretty close to each other in terms of comparison, in terms of size, in terms of prices, and so on and so forth, in terms of launch dates. And that's why if you are considering iPhone 6 Plus, you must also consider Samsung Galaxy Note 4. And if you are considering Samsung Galaxy Note 4, you should also compare it with iPhone 6 Plus, just for the sake of knowing what feature is available in one and that is not available in one. Let's start with the screen size. That's one area where Apple seems to follow the market trend and the user demands. Everyone, Samsung, LG, HTC, and all other Android makers, they are going towards a bigger screen, as big as possible, till it fits in your palms. Apple was lagging in this area until now. The new iPhone 6 Plus is 5.5-inch phone. That's possibly the higher end of what we call as the phones that can fit in your palms. Note 4 is even bigger than that and actually comes in the category of tablets at 5.7-inch. The Note 4 still has a better resolution at 1440 by 2560 versus 1920 by 1080. So Note 4 is better in terms of screen size and the resolution. But you should also note that iPhone 6 is not as big either in the size or in the resolution. It's 4.7-inch and has a resolution of 1334 by 750. In terms of camera, both have very nice cameras, and Note 4, in terms of resolution, Note 4 has 16 megapixel, but iPhone 6 has only 8 megapixel, although it does not make that much of a difference for a casual shooting and creating videos. Both of them support optical image stabilization, a very nice feature for iPhone 6 Plus as well as Note 4, where image will not get blurred by shaking of your hands. There are a few things you need to know. One is that the rear facing camera in iPhone 6 Plus is only 1.2 megapixel. Second, the iPhone 6 Plus also supports slow-mo in videography, which can be a fun or which can be something that you can casually take pictures and upload it on YouTube for sharing with your friends. We have not covered the actual video picture quality or the photo picture quality, but it looks like both of them should have comparable video as well as photo quality, at least in terms of casual picture taking. In the operating system, it's again the iOS versus Android. iOS is simple, intuitive, and it's easy to use for beginners as well as for daily operating of a phone or things like that. Android is also a very good operating system, but it's a little harder in the beginning, or it could feel like it's a little harder for a common user. But after a few use, you will feel that it's as easy to use as iOS. And the Android has a good feature of being interoperable with Windows or Linux computers, where you can drag and drop the MP3 songs or photos and videos. Apple, it's a little harder. You have to go through its own software, and it's not as easy or quick to use. Apple's phone, they work well with Apple's ecosystem, Apple's MacBook and Apple's desktops. Another feature of Note 4 versus iPhone 6. The iPhone 6 comes only with a fixed internal storage by default at 16 GB, and if you want to get a higher storage, the only option you have is at the beginning to purchase a 64 GB version, which will come for $100 extra. Note 4 comes with 32 gigabytes of storage, and if you want a bigger storage, you can always insert a micro SD card in the provided slot at a cheaper price, and you can extend it to as much as you want. The Note 4 comes with a stylus. You can write it, any memo or anything on it, or make pictures of it. That is a very good feature in case you have to do a lot of writing or making notes or things like that. And that's where it gets its name from Note. Apple does not have any such feature. We have already indicated the Note 4 is 64 GB default storage. Note 4 has some health sensors like pulse oximeter, heart rate monitor, and ultraviolet sensor. Apple has also started getting into this area by having these features in its Apple Watch, which is not yet released in 2014, but it will come in future, and you will have to spend another $350 for that. We expect that Apple will also follow the same thing in future. Battery life. Note 4 has slightly bigger size, and that bigger size used the extra size to provide the battery in that area. It's 3240 milliampere hour versus 2900 milliampere hour for iPhone Plus, iPhone 6 Plus. But Apple is a little more efficient in terms of using that battery life. It has more efficient processor, and it uses less RAM, and all these things lead to a higher battery life even with a smaller battery size. In terms of processor, both processors are excellent. Apple has 8 processor, which is 25% faster than its earlier A7 processor. Note 4 uses Qualcomm Snapdragon 805, which is fastest processor used in Android phones as of now. It's quad-core 2.7 GHz. Another difference is the Apple uses 1 GB of RAM and Note 4 uses 3 GB of RAM. If you are using multiple windows or in the phone, then this RAM can handy at it comes up faster. But to be frank, the processors are damn fast in both the phones, and it's probably more than what you need in a typical smartphones. And finally, the price. The iPhone 6 Plus is $749. That's without contract, and it's for 16 GB version. Note 4, we don't know the unlocked price, but it's going to be somewhere around $650. That's what our expectation is. And that means iPhone 6 Plus is going to be $100 more than Note 4. But the planned prices, they follow the similar $100 difference. So it's a very competitive feature, competitive pricing for Note 4, and that's one plus point with Note 4. Personally, I would go with the Note 4 given that it's Android, but of course the iOS has its own users, followers, for its simplicity to use and its ease of use. It's a good phone. It provides video slow-mo features, and it's in looks and everything aesthetics. The iPhone 6 Plus is a better phone. But for my personal choice would be Note 4 at this point of time, given that it's you can expand its storage, it's Android, and so on and so forth. But if you are really looking for a low price Android, I would like you to also consider Nexus 5, which is at $350. It's not as big as Note 4 or iPhone 6 Plus, but it has pretty much everything that you need in a smartphone at a price you can afford.